What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and EA is back at it. This time they're trolling us with veterans, but guess what, guys? They're 90 overall, and we're going to have some different opportunities to make some training and actually upgrade our teams in different ways. Now, depending on where you are in MUT, some of you guys are very new, some of you guys are veterans. We all know that the best thing possible is to have a suitable amount of training for everything that goes on in the game, because you literally need training to log in. Like, it's really bad. EA has made training so ridiculous, but that's the way that, you know, they keep us engaged. They keep us trying to get free currency. They keep you guys every morning trying to get a dump truck. Like, this is the way that they're doing it. So in their eyes, it actually works and keeps us going, but it's kind of weird the way that they're doing things. So now you're going to see a new part in the store where 4,500 training is going to go ahead and get you an 89 to 90 overall veterans player. So you're probably saying to me, Gmia, what do you mean that this is probably good? They're trolling us. These players suck. Well, listen, you're probably right about all that, but that's not what it's about. Let's go take a look at the players that they release first, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do after. Because as we know, a 90 overall quick sells for 5,000 training. So that can be very, very good for a lot of you guys that are struggling to figure out how to get training. Yo, Gmia, what's going on? How are we supposed to do this? How we're doing that? Well, now you're going to have that opportunity. Now, look, this is the whole thing, right? You see these cards right here, Demario Davis, Mario Addison. You got Jared Cook, Ryan Fitzpatrick, AJ Boye, right? Now, I think, wasn't there one more guy? Because that's Mario Addison, Demario Davis, Ryan Fitzpatrick, AJ Boye, and there was another bum that was running around. Oh yeah, Jared Cook. So that's the 5 right there. Okay, that's the 5. All right, but just making sure that we have the 5 guys right there, so we're good. All right, so those are the 5 new ones that are released. Now, as far as like what you can do with them, you're gonna have to figure out, you know, pretty much what's really working. Now, this guy right here, his medium route running, he doesn't have a power up. Like, look, guys, some of you guys are like, yo, Gmia, how can you tell what's going on with that? You know, what is the situation that we can actually, you know, be able to figure out what's going on as far as getting these guys up to that level? Well, realistically, with play fake, I think you get another 4. So his medium route run will actually be key. He can run those routes that many of us, you know, look for with those crossers. That's one of the biggest issues that I had to adjust to, because realistically, I've never really paid attention to it all throughout these years since they've come up with all these things. Other than like zone, speed, and acceleration, I never really focused on this because I ran a different type of offense. But now that I'm running, you know, actually throwing dots, I got to look at this now. So it's like, all right, cool. What do I need to do to get these guys up there? So the play fake scheme chem, he would be good for that. Now, he, like I said, he doesn't get a power-up right now. I don't see the power-up symbol on his card, so he's only going to get the sprinter. So he'll go to 87 speed, but he'll give you that medium route running where you can go ahead and get open on those crossers. Sort of like, you know, a +2 speed, what is it, Jermichael Finley. Yeah, that's him, because that guy sucks. He's outdated right now, but this guy will get open a little bit faster with that medium route run. So that's just something I wanted to point out with that. So if you were having issues with getting people open, he's a guy that you can take a look at. AJ Boye, it looks like he gets a power up. Demario Davis gets a power up, but this is a guy that nobody really cares about. I don't see like how you're going to utilize him, because if you look at his power move, finesse move, you know, let's look at his coverage. What's his coverage looking like? Because he doesn't have anything like that. So let's see his coverage. All right, so he has an 85 hit power in the 76 zone. So this guy is just a joke, right? Regardless of how you're going to utilize him, he sucks. So he's just a card that they put out to troll us, because you could have put somebody else out as a veteran that people would have probably jumped on. Give us a Des Bryant. Like, that dude sucks too, but at least we'll be able to figure out, you know, a Cowboy fan can be happy. They're going through it right now, bro. Like, show some love, EA, and have some respect. The Cowboys are getting demolished on a regular basis. At least give them a card. But that's not what that's about either. This card sucks. So his price will definitely 100% drop, because nobody's going to have use for him, and it's going to be kind of weird to have him very expensive. So I see his card as a snipe action. You know, like, you see how it's at 145 now? It's going to keep steadily going down, and they won't be able to do anything about it because the card is terrible, which is why it's going to benefit us, because we're going to lurk that card. And no matter what happens, if you get that card, he's going to always be up there for a cheaper price. So definitely watch that one right there. Now, as we look at, you know, Mario Addison, there are a lot of right ends and left ends that are available right now. Javon Curse comes to mind. There's other players that are definitely savages. This guy with the finesse move, if this was last year, it would be cool. Now, the defensive line doesn't really matter as much, because I played a guy that had Aaron Donald, and my center, I don't even know who my center was. Who is he? Linder? I recently put an ability on him, but even before that, he's just throwing them around. And it's like, what's going, like, they don't want you to really be able to get pressure immediately. So once you do break down and there is pressure, that's when the speed and everything comes into play. So he has an 81 speed. It might get you, it might not. They've done a good job. I got to give EA credit about this, right? You can still get, like, Lamar Jackson can get tackled in the backfield by Ndamukong Suh with 45 speed, but you can outrun guys if you just make the move and just start running up the field. Like, it's not like last year the way they tuned it down when they first gave us Escape Artist, and then, you know, they tuned it and then dudes were getting tackled in the backfield by, you know, Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's different now, right? You can be able to go ahead and just go after the QB, and you could, once it breaks down, you could probably get him. But again, I haven't really seen a lot of evidence that the finesse moves means what it meant last year, because the O-line is so solid, bro. You can't do anything. It's ridiculous. And then what happens is, I was sending 7 or 8 the other day when I was playing Weekend League, and they were just looking at my players and laughing. I was like, yo, hold on, what is, dude, what? And the dude was, I think he might have, I just want to say might have, I think he might have been blocking 6. His 5-0 lineman and his running back. And I was like sending 7. One time I got desperate, I think I sent 8, and I got no pressure either. And then I sent 3 and got instant pressure. So I don't really know what the concept is behind what EA is doing. All I know is that it's driving me absolutely insane, but that's not what it's about. Like, this is what it's really about, right? What are we going to be able to do to make something off of this? All right, which player is going to be the guy that we're looking for? Right now, I have to tell you, I have to be absolutely honest. I think it's going to be Demario Davis, because AJ Boye gets a power up and he's not that bad. See, this guy is a little bit different, because the power up plus the teams that he played on, he can be a suitable player. Plus, with his zone coverage meeting the 90 threshold, if you're looking for just somebody decent, you might be able to get something off with this guy. Plus, he's a zone concept, so he's going to get some of those abilities a lot cheaper than, you know, obviously the man-to-man concept. So he might be somebody that can work for you. He might be a guy that I'll say, all right, if I see him out there and he's in zone, he might make a play. But we all know he might not. That's the joke. You see what I'm saying? Like, we know, looking at his numbers, he might. But it's EA Sports, so he just gonna look there and just stand there, and you're gonna dot him. More than likely, that's what's gonna happen. But he's gonna be a card that'll probably sell for a decent amount because he meets thresholds. So I would avoid trying to snipe him, because people are gonna pay the money for him. Like, right before I went to it, somebody just bought him for 165. So it's gonna be a situation like that where you just have to actually watch that situation. And then, you know, finally with Ryan Fitzpatrick, I don't know how many people, the dude went to Harvard, so he's intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, bro. You know, I don't know many Harvard quarterbacks that have been able to make it in the league and do these type of things. So, you know, pretty much what's going on with this is, you know, he's a very, very pedestrian quarterback. He's a very, very, you know, solid guy that you can put out there just in case you need something to just, you know, fill in a spot. But he has suitable accuracy with short. You know, medium accuracy is pretty good. Deep accuracy, 84. The throw under pressure, I don't really see many people that would probably run outside the pocket with him. But again, he's a field general. So for those of you guys that can't live without conductor, you know, you need a lot of those things. You need hot route master. He's a guy that you can run with, especially, you know, Miami and Jet fans. You know, you guys can do. I don't know why you would be either of those fans, but that doesn't matter. The bottom line is you can utilize him if you wanted to. I think he had one of those very, very fancy pitches last year, but he was an 84 veteran last year. I wonder why all the overalls jump like this. Everybody's overall has jumped, but their numbers remain the same. It's very, very weird, because he had that little weird outfit that he was in. I can't remember what it was that he was doing, but, you know, he sucked then and he sucks now. But that's whatever, dude. He's a guy that more than likely, because he's a field general, he probably won't be one of those guys you can snipe for very, very little. So you have to just look over that and make sure that you have an idea of what's going on as far as his card goes. But I would wait, because right now it's still relatively new. It's just been released. So you have to give it some time to actually come down in price. Once it comes down in price, Demario Davis is going to be a card that you need to watch. We've already seen him sell for 145. Remember, that's 5,000 training. Okay, so it's going to take you a decent amount, like 750 times, you know, the 40 players that you need. When you do the math, it's going to be a decent amount of training. So if you can take your time sniping these things, it can really, really benefit you. So don't mind the troll of EA, because look, also with all of that, look at this. Other players are going to come down in price. You can start sniping the legends. you can start, you know, looking for other things that's going to contribute to you, you know, 137, whatever. You'll be able to get it. Just keep that number in your mind. 5,000 training for every 90. Eventually, they have to come down more. And then with the 50 players and more stuff coming out, they're going to have no choice but to do those things. So these are just some of the things that I want to keep you, you know, interested in, making you understand, like, look, this is what's going on. This is how we're approaching it. And this is what we need to do, because a lot of you guys need to build your teams up. And like I said, I hear your voices. I know that you want to get that training up to a certain point. I know that you guys want it. And, you know, sometimes it's crazy and it's like, yo, Gmia, why these prices like that? Bro, EA Sports don't care about your problems, but we still have to be smart. And regardless of your theme team, we have to be able, like I said, you can choose Sprinter, which is what I recommend because Excel is so much more important this year, or you can go Brawler and don't worry about the Excel and still get the speed. Either way, you're gonna need 40. Okay, so the training is very, very interesting. I spoke to you guys about the play fake. The play fake is giving you that four medium route running. That's why Jared Cook would have been a better player for you guys. For those of you guys that are wondering why your players don't get open, I had to conform to the EA way and just say, look, dude, I got to do it. Like, I don't really care about it, but I have to do it because I notice the major difference when the guys have a decent medium route running this year more than I did last year. All right, so those are just some of the things that the training can do for you. So don't really worry too much about the fact that EA is trolling and putting out these ridiculous cards that nobody wants. Lurk the auction house, get those cards cheap, okay? And then come back in there and start figuring out what you're doing with the training, or save the training and then you wait until the next promo. You see what I'm saying? Because the next, you know, when they start putting other things in the store, if you've already maxed out, you can never have enough training in this game. So regardless of the route that you go, you know, just choose it wisely. Don't do frivolous spending. Just start throwing stuff around. Don't have, you know, Rodney Harrison on your team. Don't do ridiculous stuff like that, and you'll be fine. But other than that, you should be good, okay? Because those card prices are going to definitely start to come down. And just to give you guys a heads up, I wouldn't play around with this, you know, because the only time that you win is if you pull a 90. And more than likely, most of you guys are going to be pulling 89s. So every time you pull an 89, it sells for 3,600. So that's a big deficit. It's a huge gamble. These are useless in my opinion because it's such a big discrepancy from 3,600 to 5,000. So just be careful with that. I refuse to open any of that because it doesn't make any sense. But again, regardless of which route you're going, we're going to watch the auction house and we're going to wait patiently and start to get that Demario Davis because that card is just, it's trash. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. Continue to be safe. Enjoy your day. One love, y'all.